How are you? Good afternoon. Welcome once again to the program. It's Tenny Miller live, and I'm coming to you live from the suburbs of Montego Bay. Um, the show this week is kind of a reflection of some of the things which have been taking place over the last couple of weeks in Jamaica. Last time I spoke to you, it was just after the elections, and then we all know how that went and the various things that came with that. For this week, we want to look at some things that came immediately on the heels of the elections into the last 2 days ago. Fine. It has to do with agriculture and, of course, tourism. If you notice on the screen earlier, it says Agri-Invest, and it shows you a copy of the investor deal book put on by Agri-Investment Corporation of Jamaica. And they had quite an extensive conference. It was quite an extensive forum. It says forum. It was like it was a marathon forum. It was it was over 3 days. Thursday, it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday. And they had a lot of stuff that went into that. And the purpose of the theme was Agri-Invest, Global Reach, Local Impact. And they had quite a number of persons from different parts of the Caribbean and different parts of the world, Belgium, all over. If I take a look at what the back page, it says they had quite a number of not just sponsors but people from different countries who participated in this very important first ever agricultural investment forum in Jamaica, first ever of its kind. And it was quite a forum, quite an event, and it was well sponsored, well supported, and the participation level was across the agricultural spectrum, which I think was good. I have some concern as to this, to some elements that perhaps I thought would have been included to us to make it part of the whole, to look at, doing something like that. You'll talk about Genesis to Revelation. Fine. But then we'll get to that in a minute. But we had that, that came on, and it was quite a conference. And I'm going to just bring you some excerpt from the conference. A part of the conference, which to me was part of the highlights of the conference, was a discussion I had with some members of the Fisheries Authority, because the Fisheries Authority has gone through tremendous improvements and doing a whole lot of new things with the Department of Fisheries. They're doing apart from expansion and the conch part of it and lobster seasoning and so on. They've extended the fishing aspect of it, and both inland and outer, the blue and brown fishing, as I call it, and inland fishing with pond fishing and so on, as well as the whole ocean aspect of it. And of course they have done shrimp, and they have talked about the shrimp industry, and there's sea moss. Now I had a discussion with 3 members of the that grouping. I had a chance to speak to let me see if I find their names here. It was Mr. Morrison. You had Mr. Michael Morrison, who is the Senior Director for Commercial Services. We had a discussion with him, and we have Miss Kimberly Cook. She is Mrs. Cook Panton. She's a Senior Director for Planning, Development and Management. And of course, Clive Williams, Senior Director for Extension Services, Aquaculture, as well as the Aquaculture Division. And we had quite an interesting thing, apart from I was drinking oyster punch and all that sort of stuff while then, but it was quite an interesting. Let me just show you some highlights of this discussion, and then we come back to other aspects of that conference. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you this afternoon? We have created a studio in the booth of the Ministry, the National Fisheries Authority, here at the Expo, the Agro Investment Expo. Here it says Global Impact, Global Connection, Local Impact. Is that what the theme is? Global Connection, but Local Impact. In studio here with me, apart from my oyster punch and some other things, we have some distinguished guests here, members of the staff of the Fisheries Authority. We have Mr. Clive Williams. Clive is a Senior Director of Extension Services, Aqua Division. And I have also Kimberly Cook, the lovely Miss Kimberly Cook Panton. She's also the Senior Director for Planning, Development and Management. And of course, Mr. Michael Morrison, the gentleman to my right, to my over on the other side, who is the Senior Director for Commercial Services. Lady and Plentyman, good afternoon and thank you for being here.
Pleasure. Thanks for
And
having
for
us.
welcoming me here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us.
You're
A
welcome.
special thank you to Kimberly because she understands my needs and my desires and she tries to look after them.
Yes.
Listen, we have been having some interesting things going on here. And one of the things that came out of a forum, that a special session that I had earlier this morning was that Miss Kerry from the, according to what was the department?
Kerry?
Kerry from the free, not the Special Free Zone Authority.
Okay.
Special Free Zone Authority gave an outline as to the kind of resources that she has at her disposal to facilitate opportunities and development for individual empowerment and services that each person might want to bring. And when I try to think of that within the context of the new innovations and some of the fantastic things which are happening with this, it's like a new fishing authority. It's new because we're first having a fishing authority. But the truth and in fact, within the last 4 to 5 years, we have seen a revolution in the fishing industry in terms of organization, management, and structure and formation that have been put in place. You are 3 people who are now poised and in the best position to help me to understand, to unpack this for the benefit of the diaspora. Because there are Jamaicans in the diaspora, not only persons out there who wants to invest, but Jamaicans in the diaspora who want to come out of their yard, come do some business, and earn the money. And not just earn the money, but to retire and to live peacefully and to quietly. Because if you retire on $30,000 US, it's not a lot of money.
No.
Or $50,000 US is not a lot of money.
Inflation is going to eat that up.
Fine. So they want more, and they have their grandchildren, so they want to look at how they build their legacy. The fishing authority is so strategically poised to facilitate a lot of Jamaicans to really make a decent living and to really create some kind of a future industry and benefit for the family. Let me start with the lady first. You are responsible for development and planning.
Yes.
Fine. What does that mean within the context of the industry?
All right. So outside of once we've done our R&D, we take that product now, and then we
Tell us what is the RIC, because not many people
research and development.
Okay.
One says so, like CMAS, for example. It initially started as a research initiative, and then we looked at how it would grow in our environment. We looked at what would be the conversion factor from wet CMAS to dry CMAS.
Okay.
So then that way we can inform persons that if you have an amount of CMAS, once you are looking to dry it now, you apply that weight, multiply that by 4 to 5%, and then you'll get the dry weight. So you'll end up for the CMAS, because the conversion factor is so low, what will happen is you need a large amount of CMAS, wet CMAS, to get a decent dried product.
Research and development is?
I'm extension services.
Extension services.
Yes, sir.
How does that fit in within the context of this matrix that we're gradually putting together?
So I am capture fisheries. He's aquaculture.
Oh, your fisheries and this aquaculture.
Yes.
Okay,
So it's same one fisheries. So it's,
Yes.
so the fisheries division is
Divided.
composed of 2
Major arms.
divisions.
Yes.
So you have the marine division
Yes.
and you have the aquaculture division.
Okay, fine.
So
So for the
she's-
benefit of my listeners, explain the difference between the two, because they say aqua, him go still think water, and then we think the same thing.
All right.
So capture fisheries deals with fishermen who go out and capture the fish.
Right.
So that part of it is we look at the licensing of the fishes, and we look at the management of the resources that they extract from. So that is my responsibility. And
management of the resources, mean the oceanic aspect of things. How much
they can catch,
or
how
should
much
allow license? So you license people within the context of that,
Yes.
and they cannot catch above and beyond a certain amount
So
on that license which they have been granted. Wonderful, good. So that way you manage the ocean
in a sustainable
in a sustainable way. No, I never figure out.
So there's over catching and so forth. So we don't deplete the resources.
Yes.
Overcatching. So you don't deplete.
That's why you have
the
a hunt season and a
resources.
lobster
Then we're
season.
gonna have a problem to find they're going to start to catch a baby fish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So then when you have a size limit now, then you deter that person from catching a fish that is under a size limit. So say that the size limit for fish is 6 inches from the head of the fish to the fork line. Then nothing under that should be caught. So that is what those are the
So
research.
that's
that
a kind of
we
a
did.
standardization of that process by
Yes.
creating a 6 inches long.
So we did the research into that.
Yes.
And then we determined what size is most being caught and the average size of those particular fish.
Is there a penalty if you try to fall outside of that guideline and that?
Yes, you can be charged.
Oh, really? Is there a serious penalty that comes with that?
3 million, 3 years in prison.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm glad you mentioned it. So you're really dealing with a sustainable management of the ocean
resource, yes.
and the resources that we have in it. Interesting. Within the context of the commercial aspect of it now.
Yes. It's quite
You,
simple.
you tell them how to sell the fish?
No, not at all. Not at all. We can't tell you what's your margins and how you should go about selling your produce. Quite frankly, my role is to grow the coffers.
Yes, sir?
To grow the coffers
Okay.
within the national fishes, as well as to connect the dots and to grow the industry itself.
Okay.
Because a lot of fishers out there, they need a market. And that's where I come in, where I connect the dots.
Okay.
And in doing so, we will the industry itself, along with NFA, will go. Because the more fishes we have, is the more fees will be collected. Because again, for a fisher to sell legally, he needs to come on board, or she needs to come on board, and as such, they have to pay a particular fee.
All right. Do they pay a fee for just to be able to go there and catch fish?
Yes, yes, yes.
And is there a restriction as to how much weight that individual fisherman, whether it's a net or a spear,
Well,
or as a
each person has gear selectivity. So you would apply for your license, and then within the application process now, you tell them what type of fish that you want to catch or fishery that you want to tap into, because it can be lobster, can be conch, as an artisanal fisherman. And then you say where you'd want to fish it, as well as the gear that you'll be using.
the type of and all those are specifications that the individual fisher
Yes,
folk
so we have
must be aware of. And
net sizes,
Vessel size as
yeah.
well.
no, you see, I'm listening to all this because the traditional fisherman grab a boat and go sing, go catch fish and come in. And the man in front of him decides, well, all right, I miss me, I want some for the shop. And Doris, him auntie might go carry some, go market, go sell. And, you know, them other guys can come pick up pizza and they're gone. But it is so much more than that.
The only fishing we have regulated, and it's line fishing.
Huh?
Line fishing.
The line fisherman.
Yes, it's
It is not within the context of the regulation.
not as yet.
So if I go there and I catch a 50-pound marlin, I'm all right?
You're
Yes,
not
fine.
going to be a line fisher catching a 50-pound line. After line fisher is right by the seaside.
Yes.
Oh, it's got to
From
be,
shore.
you have to be deep sea. With
Yeah.
Deep sea.
That's what you mean. All right.
And your gears that you need to do so.
very
It's
different.
not a regular gear.
Yeah, you can't use your hand catch a
A
marlin.
marlin.
This afternoon,
tuna.
we're doing a deep
Problem.
dive in the fishing industry. What we're trying to do is a deep dive. Not that I'm all that much of a swimmer. But something I learned that time. This thing is here this afternoon. To my far, over this far right, is Mr. Michael Morrison. Michael Morrison is the
Yes,
Senior
sir.
Director for Commercial Services. In the center is Miss Kimberly Cook, the floor, the diamond in the rough here, Miss Panton. And of course, over and to my close beside me is Mr. Michael Morrison. And he says he's not the only one.
Clive, this is Clive.
Williams.
Mr. Michael,
I'm Michael Morrison. He's
Mr. Michael,
Williams.
oh sorry, Mr. Clive Williams.
Yes.
Yeah. Fine. A while ago when I say he's not the ugly one, I feel some touching on my shapes. No, we are getting very interesting things here because a lot of persons are as ignorant as I am or more
Yes.
in terms of exactly what goes on there. I'm just concerned about I want a nice snapper. I want a nice grunt, go roast, and get 2 red stripe or 2 dragons,
Yeah.
you know?
There's a
And
whole-
if you
there's a
want
whole
steam
thing
it, you
behind it.
throw some crackers in the thing and you sort it out. But there's so much more that goes in.
Yeah, that's just the end
You're
part
talking about gears of fishermen, and that's right. Are there specific gears that you are required to use at a different type of fishing that you want to do? And why is it so?
But
And is it mandatory?
primarily it's to safeguard the fisher.
The fisher himself.
Very important.
Okay.
Very, very important. In any business you do, you have to ensure that you're properly equipped
Yes.
And as such, we educate our officials to ensure that when you do go to sea for your livelihood, you're properly geared.
Okay. That's right. Sticking to commercial before I come into aquatic. Do you facilitate or do you provide training for your fisher folk who are been fishing and have an interest into the various areas, whether they're spear fisherman, they're net fisherman, them just go on them boat or their pot, the various stratification that you have. Give us what the breakdown is between the two of you and exactly do you provide training
Yes.
for them?
So he's a senior director for extension services on aquaculture side. There's also a senior director for extension services on the capture fishery side.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Speak to me. Somebody.
So that is Micheline Berry, and she is responsible for all the extension officers across Jamaica, and each extension officer is actually spread across Jamaica. You have four regionals who have overarching view of the senior extension officers. So we cover each parish.
Yes.
We have outstation in almost all parishes, and those are the liaison officers between the fishers and us and the authority.
You carry a register of fishermen? And is it same to just a fisherman, or you also have a connection with the fisherman and his family?
Well, we try to capture the social aspect of the fishing industry, where we look at their dependents, as well as capture not just the fishers, but the fish vendors as well.
Now, because the industry now is organized, is now and can be capitalized, it's an industry whereby people take it their employment and the participation in this business very seriously. Fisher folk wants to talk just like in the farming industry now, they're talking about insurance of farmers, insurance of their crop, that kind of a thing. Do you tend to have any discussion and facilitate anything in that area?
Yes, sir.
Yes, of course, we educate officials to ensure that they go and go into the insurance. It's very important, very, very important. And the industry, the business that they're doing is very dangerous. You may go out, may have inclement weather, you don't know what will happen.
Right.
So you have to ensure that you insure your gears, your boat, insure yourself as well. And that is something that we preach, something that we encourage all fishers to do.
Okay. And now you offer them this insurance, and it's something that is reasonable. They pay. It's a specific insurance company that now they now can talk to get this kind of a coverage and this kind of an opportunity.
Yes, there.
Huh? Is there a special industry, insurance company that we?
Yes, we currently look into, I don't remember the meaning of the acronym,
Yeah.
but it's CRIF.
Sajiko.
Okay. So the CRIF wing is a regional thing that looks at all fishers. It's pushed forward by the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, and what is in local Jamaica now would be through Sagicor.
Through Sajiko. So we look at the livelihood, we look at elements of how you deal with it professionally in terms of organization, and the commercial department help you look at the whole business as sustainability in
Yes.
terms of those process
Finding markets,
and find markets.
help them to price your products the best way possible. Because sometimes you don't want to overprice or you don't want to underprice.
Okay.
So you want to be fair to the market.
And
And that comes about training
Yes,
as
most
always,
definitely.
because
Yes,
they're not,
yes,
some of these
training is a
fishermen
big
don't
part.
necessarily have the knowledge. to
That's
work
why
in
we
that
have the
technology.
extension services.
And that's why you have it. So it's like rather where you have the extension
Yes,
officers because
yes.
it is an industry, so they must use it.
Yes.
We're going to look at investment after that and how diaspora people invest. Because I'm interested as a diaspora man to invest into something which we will speak to in another time.
Yes.
But before we get to that, tell us about what you do and how you fit within the matrix of this.
Okay, so for aquaculture means to produce aquatic plants and animals or fish in a controlled environment. Meaning that you're not capturing fish from anywhere, you're actually producing it.
Okay. So you're talking about pond fishing.
Ponds, it could be plant, it could be fish, and also it could be aquatic plants, and it can also be ornamental fish,
Okay.
pet fish.
And for the benefit of my listeners, when you say aquatic plants, what you're looking at?
Sea
Sea
moss.
moss. Okay.
That's one of them.
Uh-huh.
And we also have mariculture. Mariculture. So
That's where this
this is where mariculture comes in. So we have mariculture in terms of sea moss, and we have oysters.
And you have oysters.
Yes, the one the punch. Yeah, the punch in front of
Right there,
there.
that's where my heart lies.
Yes.
Okay. And tell us in terms of how you do what you do and what kind of involvement we have nationally in this kind of a new branch of the industry.
Well, then we have been around from the 1970s.
Yes.
But we just become an authority in 2018. That's what the
What was
2018 Act. But in terms of what you in terms of our modern approach
Yes.
to agriculture.
Welcome back to the program. We had an extended break. We just had a little bit of technicality which we had to straighten out for you. The program is 10 Miller Live, and we're live here from our location in Montego Bay, Jamaica. The special program this afternoon, as we brought, as you noticed from the screen, it says Jamaica Agribusiness Investment Forum. And I'm just bringing you some highlights from this investment forum. And we have started this week with the fishing authority, the National Fishing Authority, because I was really surprised to know that we have a fishing authority. So we were in the middle of an interview with three of the technical persons with the fishing authority. We had Miss Kimberly Cook Panton. She is the senior director for planning, development, and management. We have Mr. Clive Williamson Senior, who is the director for extension services, and of course Mr. Michael Morrison, the man who's the director for commercial services, and so on. So we were having a discussion looking at the whole gamut of the industry, its expansion, its varying aspects, and what are the opportunities for business and investment. So let's go back to the discussion.
We are pushing certain areas. For example, we are seeking to improve and increase the production of tilapia, which is our main local species in terms of freshwater fish. And we have now developed our lab, our hatchery for macrobrachium, which is a shrimp.
For the
Macrobrachium, which is a freshwater pond. Freshwater pond.
Yeah, because sometimes my listeners don't spell as well as I do.
Okay, so let's call it a shrimp. It's a shrimp.
Okay, good.
So this is a freshwater shrimp.
Yes.
That you have to your hatchery. They produce naturally in salt water. You have to acclimatize them to put them in the fresh water.
Okay.
But the point is that we are now promoting the growing of the shrimp and the tilapia together in the same pond, same environment.
Okay. And how successful is that so far? Or it's still an experimental phase?
No, not an experimental. It has been done over the world. It has been done over the world.
Probably for locally here.
But locally here, we have just completed some amount of research on it, and we are now introducing it to the farmers and to prospective farmers like yourself. So, for example, if you have land, fish is grown in ponds or it could be grown in concrete vats, but preferably in earthen ponds. So, if you have land and you are interested in doing tilapia and macrobrachium, the unique thing about it is that it can be grown both as a monoculture or a polyculture.
No, so I would like to ask you to speak in simple
language. So monoculture,
so that my people can
yes.
So I can spell very well.
Yes. So mono means single, single culture. Yeah. So what we are saying to you is that if you have ponds, or if you construct ponds and want to do, I'm going to take it to the whole process. Okay. So you want to start up a farm, you get in touch with us. We will find out. We get some information from you about how much land you have.
An assessment of
yes.
And if I have the capacity
to do it, then we will assist you with also provide technical support in the ponds.
Okay, good.
And once the ponds are constructed, we'll also give you technical support on how much fish is stuck in the ponds.
Okay.
So we take you to the whole process.
You take us through that. Okay.
Yes. So once you decide to do single culture, you want to say, for example, say I have 2 ponds. And you say, let me try and do monoculture in one I want, or polyculture in one. Okay. Poly mean more than one, mean 2 or 3. So you say, I will stock this pond with shrimp alone. All right? So a 1 acre pond could be stocked with up to 15,000 post larvae. Because the small one is described as a post larvae. Small.
That's what you call tiki-tiki.
Now, tiki-tiki is a fish, is a different type of fish.
No, but I know the other side.
Yes.
There's a general reference.
Yes, it's a small tiki-tiki, yes. Yes. And then if you want to do polyculture, for example, you have 1 acre pond, you could put 3,000 shrimp in there, and you could put another 10,000 tilapia in the same pond. But you have to start at different stages.
Okay.
So the
to facilitate the breeding and the development.
No, not breeding. No breeding. So here's what happened. The shrimp or the macrobrachium is very small.
Yeah.
If you put them in the tilapia at the same time, then the tilapia will eat them.
Okay.
So what you do, you will have 3 weeks to 1 month gap between stacking the mackerel breaker and the tilapia in the same pan. So you start the shrimp
When they
first.
can defend themselves now, then they
Yeah,
can
when
be
they are big enough now,
to defend themselves.
not only to defend them, but they are big enough so that they don't be able to eat them.
Yes.
Yes. And once you do that, the great advantage of that is that the shrimp is a bottom feeder. You don't have to use any additional feed.
No.
So you
It
the
feeds
feed that
itself.
goes to the tilapia, the excess of it goes to the bottom, the shrimp eat it up. So we are saying to you in the diaspora and your friends, if you have land in Jamaica, many people have left here, have lands here, don't waste money on all
A
the
whole back from the land,
waste
yes,
it, and nothing has been done with it. And once you have a good water source, very important, you have a good water source near the land, then you're in a very advantageous position. You're in a very good position. You can construct ponds, because once the soil has a little bit of clay, once you have a good water source, you can
It's
construct
just a
those
clay
ponds.
loam soil.
Clay,
You'll be able to establish a farm.
yes, because the ponds are constructed preferably clay, because the clay helps to seal the ponds. The
And
water
there's no
don't
heavy
seep out.
seepage if any at all.
No. So that's the one I think we are pushing now in the agriculture. Apart from that, we have the mariculture, the oysters that we are also involved in. If you want to get into mariculture, you get in touch with us. And we're at the moment we have 2 groups that we have taken through the entire process. They were trained how to produce oysters. They were provided, given technical support and advice. They were also provided with the spots, which is the seed stock and the baby oysters.
Yeah.
All right, and they stock it in the sea. It's grown in the sea.
And you go to the process of learning the culture.
Yes, and these persons are fishers.
Yes.
So they were doing fish. They were doing capturing fish out there. We said to them, "Listen, you're not catching enough fish out there.
Yeah.
Diversify. Do something else.
Alternative livelihood.
Alternative livelihood." And they are now doing oysters, and they are now producing oysters, which is in high great demand. And he said it can be value added because you see here we have the oyster punch.
So before you continue with that, I just want to get at this point in here. Now, he spoke to how you stock the pond, and then once they reach after 3 or 4 months, then you can now put in the tilapia
Yes.
so that you can have the mono,
That is called polyculture.
the polyculture,
Polyculture.
the multiplication.
We're
of
going
the-
more than
the more than one. In both, and then we can do both things in one pond.
Yes.
How economically feasible is that, and why should I get invested in that and to be able to chemical live it?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. It's economically feasible because now the same feed you use for the tilapia, the same feed that feeds the shrimp.
Okay.
So you don't need to be purchasing separate feeds.
Okay.
Yes.
So you save tremendously because
So if I
feed
want
is
one
very
of growing
expensive.
mash, the growing mash will be able to help everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
I
As I
see
said
what you mean.
before, feed is very expensive. And if you can cut your cost, your operational costs, that will help us
So
significantly.
it makes sense to do that.
And not only that, might I add, remember now that you have 2
Two
sources of
species,
income
yeah.
now. 2
Precisely.
sources of
Yeah,
income.
because shrimp is marketed at a separate price.
Yeah.
Yes, very high.
I know you're
Yes.
as far as going to ask a question. Well, fisheries, we want to grow all of this. Can you find a market for me?
That's my next question.
Because I don't want to be growing this and how am I going
No,
to sell?
because me don't want to go run up and down with a pound of fish.
No,
In on the back of my bicycle
So
every week,
it's
like
typically
a
prudent
man
for you
that, when I
to.
was a boy, we call a man the mackerel show. You must sell fish from the back. So tell us about.
So it is
Go ahead.
typically prudent for one to find a market before you venture.
Yes.
But fisheries do find your market for you. We work with you again from the beginning till end to find your market. Right now, as it relates to hoteliers, they're hunting the prawns. Right now, they're willing to take as many as they can because again, it is one of those products that is loved by the customers.
Yes.
We talk about lobster, we talk about shrimp, etc. So we do find a market for you. As it relates to tilapia, the market comes to you.
Okay.
I'm
So
telling
you
you,
can
I've seen
really,
it.
you can
I've
really
seen
make
it.
a living.
Yes, you
So
can.
guys, for a person listening to you now and wants to come home and not sure what kind of business to venture into, do you recommend that he comes and he speaks to you? Talk to the
Of course,
department?
it's very important because first thing you want to do is to be licensed.
Yes.
And you need education, so you need to be informed. So you come in, we have a sit down, and we will walk you through the stages. The technical team is here, we'll go through with you because you want to know what size pond you need,
Okay.
how many baby fish, if you want to call it,
Yes.
to put in the pond, in the pond,
In the pond
etc.
initially,
How much water
and
to put in there as well.
Exactly.
So you need all of the technical advice before you move forward.
If I have a small amount, I have $25,000 US to my name and I have to come home. Uncle Sam decides him, Donald Trump decides him and said to come on the yard. And I have $25,000 US. And I want to get into something that is reasonable, not too much labor intensiveness, and so that I got done out the little money. But it's something that I can invest into and I can see a reasonable turnover within a short time or within a reasonable time so that I can. Is that something that you could start with?
Yes.
And would
yes.
you be, and the follow through the rider to that is, if it is not enough, would you be able to help me to find additional financing to facilitate a building out of something reasonable?
All right. So you want, so for example, you just mentioned it was about 4 million Jamaican dollars.
Someone.
All right. So 4 million Jamaican dollars can give is a good startup capital you could start.
If I may have 7 acre land a country.
Yes. So
So
for
can I
example, the construct a 1 acre pond is about approximately 1.2 million Jamaican dollars.
Just a 1 acre.
So 1 acre.
Okay.
You can do,
And I can start with that.
you can start with, I would say start at least 2 ponds.
2 points. Okay.
Yes, and then you could, as you earn, you reinvest the money and expand your production.
So $4.5 million Jamaican. Follow me.
Yes,
$4.5 million Jamaican. I already have 5 acres of land.
Yes.
So then I do not.
yes,
So I spend $500,000 and clear the land and thing, and then use $2 million to build 2 ponds.
yes. And then you have another 2 million left to feed the fish to market price.
Coming on the fish eat out, we hold on the $2 million.
No, you won't use up all because to feed that 1 acre pond it costs you between $500,000 and $600,000 to
For
feed that
what period? A year?
for 6 months. Fish
For 6 months.
Fish are grown. They to break it up.
Yes.
We'll reach market size within 4.5 to 5 months.
Wonderful.
And the tilapia takes about 6 to 6.5 months.
Good.
Depending on management.
So I can begin to start to see return on my money
After
by
6
months.
after 7 months, yes.
After 7 months. What kind of return we talking about, commercial man? What kind of money you think we might be looking at in that though? That's what people are doing because they listen, they want to know if that's all they have.
All
and
right,
they come, what the hope is there.
All right, so let me explain to you.
Yes.
An average 1 acre pond, stacked with tilapia alone, you're looking at about a return in terms of fish of about 4,500 pounds of fish.
4,500 pounds.
Yes.
At how much a
And
pound?
if you work at the maths, which is $550 per pound at pond side, you're looking at about 2.4, nearly 2.5 million dollars.
At one side after 7 months.
After 6.5 months. It's
Yeah,
about
how much is
2.5 million
You can
dollars.
buy two.
So
two
we
times
already
per year.
begin to
Yeah, so
make
immediately
back money on my money after 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still have $1.5 million. I take time. I pinch it,
Yes,
pinch it.
because
Buy food
And then
out
another
there.
7 months you get the money again.
And then another 7 months.
another 7 months because you normally start the ponds like 1 month apart.
Yes.
So 1 month of that, they rip the next pond, you get another 2.5
Yes.
$2.5 million.
So this is getting more interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're just joining us, we're having a very interesting conversation here with members of the Fishing Authority. And they're giving us guidance and knowledge and understanding. And we're taking a deep dive into the industry as it from AISF so that we can understand the matrix and the maths and the methodology behind this industry and how it can be a factor in dealing with economic development, economic returns. You're talking about how we transform the economy and just using one small area of the sector to assist. And we're talking about within the ambit of the agricultural sector. This is just one. We have other things. Plus, we haven't finished the multifaceted nature of how this industry can provide and feed. You're talking about oysters.
Yes.
You're
oyster.
talking about sea moss.
Yes.
And excuse me, let me say my truth because I have to at this point pick up a product which comes out of and will be first. It is crucial to the discussion coming here. Apart from the fact that it carries some very nice spirits attached to it, it is oyster and sea moss. And cameraman, can you look at the bottle for me, please? Not on me, but the bottle.
What's the feedback?
What's the taste?
What refreshing spirit you have. I'm sorry. I had my first baptism of the product during Denby. And the only regret I have is that coming here, the bottles become smaller and they seem to reduce the size of the bottle,
So
which is unfortunate. For, you know, and we have to talk to the fishing authority about this.
Yeah.
You can't have people sample this bottle. This is sacrilegious, to say the least.
Well, tell me we were selling and these are giveaway.
when we are finished here,
Yes.
you drink the 3 bottles.
No. I want a butter pan.
What's up, fan?
No, but let's just talk. No, we don't talk to us about oyster farming
Yes.
and seamoss farming, no, because these are value added.
Yes.
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 So-
So we talk about the nature of the industry. What can and certainly the pond fishing is speaks for itself.
Yes.
But and even a woman, if she's a single mother or a single person and don't have a husband, and she comes on and she says, "Listen, I have the land from country.
Yes.
I want to be able to think. I have a little change and not much money, but you will be
Yes.
able to hold her hand and walk her through something
Yes.
like that."
You won't
Yes,
have to figure it out
definitely.
yourself.
But you still you need still somebody. She will still need somebody to manage the farm for her.
Oh yeah, naturally,
Yes. But it's not something that
And you will
is,
be able to help her to make those decisions.
we are there with you from the start to the finish. From the inception, from the assessing the site
Yes.
to pond construction to
So all the water that gets
starting
inside
to-
there,
yes,
how you deal with the
everything.
maintenance of the pond.
And not only that, we are signing an extension of it to your farm to come and visit you at least once per month.
At least once per month. That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
Yes.
Talk to me about oysters and seamoss. Because one thing I like to know now is how you can capitalize on just getting a two chain of seafront. And I'm telling you, listen carefully, because you can't believe what comes over it. A chain and a half of seafront in the ocean, you know, that one land now. Because the ocean belongs to everybody. But if you have access to a chain or chain and a half, a seafront land, how can you capitalize on that to deal with seamoss and possibly oyster? I don't know. I'm just telling you. I used to live at seaside. I would go seaside, go swim. Now and again, we do a dive and we catch oyster, we go pick up lobster or fish. But we never consider it a business.
Yeah.
Yes.
We never realize how much of an industry this thing can mushroom into.
Well,
Yes.
for sea moss, we have naturally occurring ones, but those don't grow as quickly as this product.
Okay.
So this is actually a transfer from Grenada that we
Okay.
got their species, and it's fast growing, and we wanted to push forward an alternative livelihood product for fishers. So what this does now, looking at the setup for it is pretty simple. You need 2 anchors. And then between the 2 anchors, you have a floating platform. And from the floating platform, which is like made up of rope and bamboo, if you want to use bamboo, or PVC pipes.
Okay.
So you have 2 lengths, and you have 5 bits of rope going across, and this is like about 50 feet. And from the floating platform, which is like made up
There you
of,
have it. We're
rope
giving you
and
insight as to exactly what's taking place with the fishing industry. And we're speaking down. Your last person there who was still talking is Miss Kimberly Cook Panton. She's part of she's a senior director, planning, development, and management with the National Fishing Authority. Mr. Michael Morrison is the senior director for commercial services. That's a gentleman in the blue shirt and the coat. And of course, Clive Williamson Sr. is the director for extension services and aqua division. It's quite an interesting area. It's quite a profit-making area. It's quite lucrative, and for people who are into the fishing business and just usually just to spear fishing and just go to boat or net fishing, you now have a variety and a variation within the context of that you'll be able to do some business with. Next week we'll bring in other aspects of this very important agricultural investment deal, which is now hitting Jamaica and is going to be taking the place by storm, not just Jamaica, but across the diaspora and across the world. And those of you who are there and at home, in the diaspora and want to get home to really get involved in some business, this is an area that you can get into. Until I join you again, Tenny Miller saying, thank you for tuning in. This is Tenny Miller, always live, coming to you from the studios of Flex TV, FLEXX. Tell your friend, your neighbors, and everybody. You can watch me again on my YouTube channel. And of course, subscribe, and share. Thank you.